What's going on, trash cans? We are back. Got an echo. And we are back live for some midweek vendor insight action. So, what is on the docket for today? First off, we're going to start with what did we get vending on Sunday? What new pickups did we get? And we did get something in the mail, but I kind of saved it for today because I thought it was pretty cool. And so we're going to look at that. We are still waiting on a couple things that we got from Collects as well. So we got some big things coming in the mail, actually. So we got that. So we have a stack of stuff, some singles, and then we're actually going to talk about our upcoming event schedule and kind of like the plan moving forward. Vending wise and what that's going to look like for our channel, and how that's going to affect like weekend streams and stuff like that. Just kind of like giving a forecast and then kind of show you guys the company that we're going to be working with and doing that. So this way you guys get an actual insight as to what we do, how we come about shows, and some of the websites we use for that. So starting off, we're going to start with the cards, go through those, and then we'll get into the whole vendor things. So first off, mail day. What did we get in the mail yesterday? We actually got an APH graded card. We picked it up on the low from China. And this is the APH Black Label Oranguru alt art. It's absolutely stunning. I love the APH Black Label and just how it pops out. And it just really sits well with this card. That's why I wanted it. So I actually got this. Just an absolute stunning card, to be honest with you. We have another APH card coming in. It'll be here for Saturday. And so for Saturday's stream, we are going to have that on display. And so that is going to be something that we're going to be bringing out on Saturday. But again, absolutely beautiful card. I really like the APH style grading. It just looks so clean, in my opinion. But this is what we got going on. We got this in the mail yesterday. We got it super late, so that's why I didn't bring it out for the Pokemon Pocket. I wanted to save it for today. So it's kind of like showcasing one of our pickups. We got this off eBay, actually. We do have some other stuff coming in from eBay. Some orders that just have no progress, so we might end up having to cancel them, unfortunately. But this one did come in, and we will be adding this to the collection as well. So APH there. So next is going to be our stack of stuff that we acquired from the show. We did a lot more sales than trading. We did do some trading, which, you know, is the goal. We want to do sales and trades, especially we're so young in the vendor community that for the most part we actually want to trade more than we want to sell. But with that being said, this is our highlights, what we got in the trades. Nothing crazy, not like last time anyways, but we are going to take a peek and see what kind of cool things we got going on for you. All right, so we have the Secret Rare Eternatus VMAX. We got the special illustration from Scarlet Violet base set Great Tusk EX. A little bit off centering, and by a little bit I mean very high into the right, but still a beautiful card. We got the Blastoise EX from XY. So cool, just overall card. This is the, I believe, Tatsuguri SAR. Got this in a trade. We have the Fighting Energy clean secret rare. And then we got the Eevee VMAX promo. Beautiful card that's only worth like a couple dollars, but it's still sealed, which people do enjoy, so we picked this up. Then I got this promo, which is the Professor Willows. This is a Japanese exclusive promo from Pokemon Center, still sealed in the wrapper. Thought that was pretty cool. Got that from a trade-in. That was for the Galarian tin, or the 151 tin that I had. And we got some pretty cool Sword and Shield promos. We have the Galarian Zapdos tin promo. And then we actually got all of them, the Moltres and the other one, Articuno. but this is the Grimmsnarl VMAX from Shining Fates, the secret rare. And we have the Toad's Cool Scarlet Violet base set illustration rare. Not a lot of money. I actually thought this was worth more than what it was. Believe it or not, it's not that crazy. But we have the Tarantula, another Scarlet Violet base set. Just beautiful cards. There's the Galarian Articuno that we got. This is the other tin promo. And then we have the Zapdos. I already did the Zapdos. I think I already did the Zapdos. We got a couple sets. There's the Moltres. This is the most expensive one. This is like $8.99. The others are $3 and $4 market price, or when I checked them. And then we have the Sword and Shield Dragonite V. I'm not really sure what it's priced at. I got it in a bulk deal with a bunch of other promos. But I thought a Sword and Shield Dragonite was pretty cool. And then we have the Zicane Level X from Celebrations. We actually had a couple Celebrations, and we actually picked up some new vintage stuff as well. So we did add some vintage stuff to our vendor inventory, if you would say. And then we have the Dragapult from Celebrations. And the Dark Sylveon Sword and Shield promo. So we did get this in the 10. The price has been on the rise for this card for a couple weeks now. And then we have the EVV. I believe this is like $4 or $5 for the promo. Still a beautiful card. Very simple, but very elegant. Great crisp artwork. And we have the Eternatus V promo. A lot of Sword and Shield promos. And look, the EVV Max again. Another one of those. Not sealed though this time. So that's all the non-top loader cards that we got. It's got a lot of love on it. And by a lot of love, I mean a whole poop ton of love. We said this card was damaged. With that being said, it's the Pop 5 Lugia. But to put this, the card is warped. We did not pay a whole bunch as a obvious crease in the card. This card's got a lot of love on it. But we did pick this card up as damaged. So I know that one of our guys in Discord did get the cleaning kit and all the other stuff, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna bring this card back. We're gonna put in the binder, just a binder card. It's a cool Pop 5 series, just has a whole bunch of love on it. This was part of a trade. It was a couple college students that I ended up helping out. They were looking to help their collection grow, and so we made that possible with this trade. And we have the Unseen Forces Reverse Houndour. This one isn't that bad. This one doesn't have a bunch of love on it. It's actually in fairly good condition. You do have a small little white edges up at the top here corner and the bottom left, but overall, great reverse hollow for the Unseen Forces. That Pokeball action is really cool. I don't know if you all can see that on the reflection, but it's pretty cool. And then we picked up the Charizard V, Lance's Charizard V from the promo box. I believe we got 2 of these actually. These go for like $5 or $6. But great promo. I have it somewhere. What's up, Shaker? Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. And then we have Misty's Tentacool. I believe this is from Neo Genesis. Overall, not bad edgeware. A lot of these vintage cards usually have a lot of love, so we put this as a light play as well. Still in timeout, apparently. And then we have the Mirrodin EX. Has a small, tiny little laser cut here at the top. What's up, Marge? Don? Hope y'all are having a fantastic evening. We got the Scarlet Violet base set Mirrodin EX. And then we picked up the Blissey V in a trade. So we got this and the Fuecoco, which we'll get to, the Japanese or the Chinese promo. Great condition, great card. Just beautiful card. So I just picked this up in the trade. They took one of our Japanese SARs off our hands, so worked out with us. Then we have the Team Aqua's Manectric Reverse Hollow. I believe this is from... Ooh. It's a really clean card. I'm not really sure on the price. I'll put it as light play. Might be a bit generous on the light play. Kind of looks near mint. But absolutely beautiful card. Absolutely gorgeous. Love that old artwork. Kind of reminds me of the Delta Species Charizard we have. I was trying to see edge where it looks pretty clean too. And then we have this stack. So we have the Charizard VMAX promo, the Sword and Shield promo. Last time I looked, this actually was like almost $30, which I did not know that this had gone up this much. So if you have any sitting in your collection, you might be sitting on a little bit of a gold mine with that. Beautiful Charizard, though. Absolutely stunning. And then we have the Fuecoco, Who's Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. This is the stamped Chinese exclusive promo that came with the Captain Pikachu set. So we traded this in the Blissey V for a Japanese SAR that we've had for a while. And then we have the Full Art Vaporeon from the Trainer Gallery. Beautiful card. And we have the Full Art Pikachu. This is the Scarlet Violet 88 promo. I believe this is the Paldea Adventure Chest promo that you get. Then we have the Galarian Moltres again. So we got two of these. Again, $8-something cards. Great pickups. Very, very popular card. Definitely foresee that getting picked up at our next show. Then we have the Dark Charmeleon first edition from Team Rocket. I would say light play, some light edgeware. But especially for the first edition Dark Charmeleon, great condition card in comparison to how most first edition cards are in these older sets. And then we have the Radiant Eevee from Pokemon Go. Absolutely beautiful card. Kind of reminds me of that the Chinese exclusive Eevee that we were talking about in the Discord. Absolutely beautiful artwork. Did not know this was a thing. It's like a $12 or $13 card when we got it. It's in great condition too. Very, very mint. And then we have the Kirlia from Scarlet Violet base set. I did get this because this is a very sought after SAR. Or yeah, SIR, sorry, and it's very, very clean. Centering as well. No edgeware, no nothing like that. So absolutely beautiful card for the pickup there on the trade-in. Then we have the Celebrations Pikachu VMAX, the Chunkachu-ish, not the real Chunkachu, but he's a chunky Pikachu. But again, from Celebrations, that was part of that Celebrations group that we picked up. And then we have the last little bit. So we have the Eevee, and then a group of 4 Pikachu promos from Sword and Shield era, the Cosmos Pokemon Go, the Sword and Shield Pokemon Go, and then the McDonald's Sword and Shield promos as well. So absolutely stunning cards that we got picked up there at our last show. And that is what we acquired at our show. We didn't get any new slabs. We did move some slabs, but they were on consignment. They weren't ours. and we did sell one to a vendor who is going to end up cracking it and putting on a TCG player, which is what that some vendors do. But it was a PSA 7. It was a very clean card. It was just completely off centered. So he paid a great price, and we gave him the deal. So, what's up, Mama Panda? The company that we've been working with over the last several shows, and if you guys are familiar with the Discord, and if you guys aren't, I will just take you there now. Well, that's just massively inconvenient. There we go. So this is our live show schedule as of today. So we have the July 20th TCG Clash. The 26th is the Tidewater Bonaire. You see that there's a lot of Tidewater shows coming up. So Tidewater is a promotion company in our local area. And sorry, got a message from one of the other people in the Discord, and he asked me a question. So as you see, like, we have a very full schedule. What's up? What is up? What is up, George? How are you, my fantastic human being? As you see, we have a lot of shows coming up, and so Tidewater is a promotion company. I'm just going to take you to their website so you guys can see exactly what the company is. So we were invited to 2 shows, one of which we turned down just because of late notice, and it's damn near impossible for us to go. By damn near impossible, I mean like completely impossible. So we were invited to the Raleigh, North Carolina 600, which is a trading card comic book mega expo. And that's in Raleigh from July 18th to July 20th. And we already said no. We're like, we can't do that. Raleigh's too much out of the way, too much going on. And so we turned that down. And then we were invited to the Bonaire, Virginia. So this Tidewater Promotions is run by a gentleman named Michael. And so he's one of the largest promotion companies in our local area. And as you see, they're not affiliated with any form of social media in regards to YouTube or anything like that. They do have like their own Instagram and their own Facebook and stuff, but they don't stream. What's up, Moist? Welcome in. And so if I can stay consistent with them, I don't see why I can be like one of their main people that they advertise for, which helps build the YouTube channel, builds a community, like goes with what we want to go for, and help builds a larger population. And so he's seen our commitment to the shows. We are the only live stream viewer that goes to these shows and that vends live at these shows, so it does help them, which I think is pretty cool. But I thought it was an awesome opportunity that he even approached us with it. And so, as you see, like, there's a lot of shows moving forward. They also work with another boy named Dennis, who is Doughboys Promotions, which I'm working with him. And so, I wish we could go too. But I'm working with him as well. And so, I'll be working with both of the promotion companies. Dennis is a little bit smaller, but you've seen us at shows with him. So we're going to be working with both of these guys and becoming a mainstream effort with them to help build our community and continue to push our community and become a larger platform. And so as you can see, you have their upcoming shows, and this is one of the locations that I find for my information. That is my wife. She lives in a hole. She's like SpongeBob, but a panda. So as you see, like, they're broken up. Like, Virginia has all these locations. South Carolina has these locations. Maryland has these locations. So Annapolis is coming up. The Gaithersburg Fairgrounds is going to be in November. That's going to be a massive 2-day show that they're doing. And the way that they usually like take who George? No, George is the guy I play basketball with. Um, but that's how we found this company, and so the other place is called On Treasure. So if you guys aren't familiar with these and you're curious like how we find shows, this is one of the 2 locations. So On Treasure allows you to see like upcoming trading card shows in your local area, and so based on our location, there's essentially 3 states that we can vend at due to it. So we could be in Maryland, we can be in Pennsylvania, and we can be in Virginia. Now, there isn't an option for like Washington D.C. You can put Delaware. We can't put Delaware on there. It's just that Delaware is like really massively out of the way. But like you can see like different upcoming shows. I'm gonna take Delaware out. So as you see like Richmond Collecticon, there's no tickets available. There's no tables available. But you can actually book for tables like through this website and apply to vend at shows. And so we have a table here. Then you have the Richmond Card Show going on the same day. Poke Bash on August 9th. And so this is from 12 to 7. It's a really odd time to do it, but there's no tables available. Tickets are $1. And this is in Richmond, Virginia. Then you have Virginia Beach, which is the Pokehuna Beach Bash. So these are probably going to like conflict in population. Just another card show in Langhorne, PA. And then this is the show with Doughboys that we're doing. We already have a table at the show. This is in Denver, PA, Granville, PA, Carlisle, Fairfax. No tables available there. So let me go to one where you can see. So we have 2 tables at the Baltimore Card Show. We did request 2 tables. Yes, this is the price. It is for 1 day. It's from 10 to 6. I believe early entries at 9. So we'll be there. All right, so let's do this one, right? So you can see tables. 2-day prime main room is $220. So it's $110 a day. If you go to click purchase tables, it'll take you to this, and you can 2-day wall 6 foot, and essentially you can choose which table you want out of this, and then that's the table you apply for. Not all events have this option, right? Some events don't give you the option to choose tables like this, but this one you can choose which table you want to apply to. Once it gets accepted, then you can know exactly what table number you're going to. So that's not every show, of course. Some shows do organize a little bit different. So if you apply to a show and you don't get assigned tables, like for example, Tidewater doesn't do that. It's first come first serve. So if you show up at 7 o'clock and you're the first one at the door, unless he has a prior engagement, like he knows we like wall spots so we can set the stream and digital media and stuff like that. So he'll hook us up in regards to spots and locations. So that's how one of the 2 sites that we use that you can apply to. The other way, some are on Facebook, but this is the how I when I first started vending, not knowing, I just went to trading card database. And so this is Maryland trading card shows. And so like this didn't populate. This is a local show. It's literally in a garage. Sometimes there'll be a phone number or a person that you have to contact. Sometimes there's not. But you can click on that. You have the Frederick, Maryland Comic Con, which is July 20th, which I did not know was going on at the time. but we had already booked an event. It's already filled out as well. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. And you have the Rural Rangers card show, which we saw, the TCG card show, which is the East Frontier Fire Department. So that's in Easton, Maryland. So you can go to this. And we did get 2 tables at this. So we are going to be vending here at this card show as well. That's how we found this event. So those are the 2 main locations that we find. And as you see, depending on the month, like there are card shows like projected out. It's just that there's certain times you have to apply. And so you won't be able to apply until you get closer. It's like this is the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. This is the Tidewater Collectibles, right? So I won't be able to apply for this table in theory until 2 weeks prior to the event, which would be 2 weeks prior to the event. So first day is Saturday, November 15th. So I would be able to apply essentially on the 1st of the month. Sometimes I'll post on Instagram about upcoming shows and table prices, and like Tidewater table prices are usually listed on the shows themselves. So like, let's say for example, the Short Pump show at the Drury Hotel that we do at, how you have these events, right? Sunday, July 5th, which one we did. 1 table is 65, 2 tables is 125, 3 tables max is 165, and then how to get in contact with them. So different locations have different prices just because of table space and stuff like that. It's like the Fredericksburg, it's $50 for a 6-foot table, $80 for 2 6-foot tables, $125 for 3. So as you see, prices significantly change the more tables you buy. So essentially, you're saving that space, you're renting that space, setting up your spot, and then doing that. So those are the 2 websites that we've used aggressively to get enrolled in our shows, and that's just what we've done for that. We did get signed up for the Mid-Atlantic Sports Card Show coming up as well. And as you see in January, it's a 2-day show. For the are you talking about the this one, the Pikesville, Maryland one, Haunter? So I actually was invited back to the Baltimore Trading Card Expo, and I already agreed to do that with them because I had a prior, I was a prior vendor with them. So I'm actually going to end up doing that instead of the 2-day show. No real reason other than I'm a big believer in like commitment to a prior engagement, and they had reached out to me prior to this becoming available, and I already said yes. So, and that's going to be this one right here that we agreed to. So 9 to 2 at the Maryland State Fairgrounds. Yeah. They have their own website now. And like, this is how you can apply. They're a great group of people, prior military as well, so we get along great. Me being active duty, them being prior, so they reached out to me to help me out in the setup. Essentially, I'll be getting a booth, and then a friend of mine is talking about getting her a booth as well, and then we're going to combine the booths, so we're going to just have like one giant booth between the 2 of us, and have each an 8-foot table, but just have one massive selection, and we'll have our banner and stuff with us as well, so people will be able to see where we are. I know that they had talked about moving the show from 9 to 2 to 9 to 3, but it was a great show overall. I had a lot of fun. There's a lot of room, a lot of space, very, very, very great spacing. It wasn't congested. Not that this show wouldn't be also great, but if you get in, you get in. It's just, if price per table and some of the locations for like what we're looking to do is going to be tight, but it should be a great show otherwise. I know that the TCG clash that we're doing, I know exactly what table. Let me see where that's at. Yeah, so we're doing this. I don't know if they have the table. They don't have the table layout, but our table is like on the corner. So I don't when this came about, they talked about booking the second, but they're a completely different entity because the Maryland Trading Card Expo is coinciding with the Maryland like comic book expo. So there's a show there. They have both buildings of the fairgrounds booked out for the toy show that's on Saturday, and then on Sunday, people come back in and they open up for trading cards. So it's two different vendors essentially. Some people do bring trading cards to the toy show, but they're more set up like as a portable store. So I don't think they intentionally did it to clash like that. But what I would see happening, which kind of makes sense actually, is that you have the group of people go on Saturday to one show, and then they progress over to the other show on Sunday. So, um, yeah, I think the tables were like 120 for this, so they're actually about the same price for the tables. The only difference between the two is that in the Trading Card Expo, you get a 10 by 10 booth versus this, you just get the 6 foot table. So again, like I'm a bigger person. I'm not trying to be crammed in with a bunch of people, but you know, we make it fit where we can sometimes. No puns intended. Um, we have heard that like big shows like the Hagerstown as well has been great. So we're just kind of like feeling out what big shows we want to do in regards to that. I mean, we always have, and one small show that we always do, and it's just because we've built like a community in the area, is the sports card show in Westminster. So we've worked with Dan. There is talks in October of them putting on a massive show out in Westminster, specifically for TCG. That coincides with like the Lupton Spectacular, which we did earlier this year. And we've talked with him. It's just getting the space available and getting people. The Hagerstown one. I don't think I can apply to this. I've heard great things. The only thing is that Hagerstown, like, it's the time because it's 10 to 7, and I could be wrong, but we're just gonna see. Um, because I just don't know, like distance wise. I don't know how far. Doing this live, yeah. So the drive's not bad. It'd just be making a 3 hour commitment at that time. That would be the poopy part. If I'm being 100% transparent, and we're like we're about, so if we did this, like we could leave the table set up, of course, but like the Westminster show ended at 4, so we got home about 6. If that was the case for this show, I wouldn't get home till like 9:30, and then I would have to be up the next morning, and I've got kids and stuff. So like it would be a lot, but it's not that I'm not interested in it. It's just the double trip at an hour and a half. But I mean that's far out, so anything's possible, I guess. September 27th. We already booked for the 27th. Um, yeah, we have the Frederick Sports TCG show on the 27th, the 7 to 3 card show we got into. So we're gonna be all around the Metro DC area. The one show that we're looking forward to is actually this one because Annapolis is like right up the road, and there's really like the LGSs in Annapolis are all third eye games. There's not a lot of singles LGSs, so there's a, I would say, untapped market, but there's a very, no, they don't open up till 2 weeks prior. Um, and like, so I had a conversation with him, with Mike, about certain people showing up late because we did Tidewater, and the same vendors showed up late to the Saturday show and the Sunday show. Now, when I mean late, I don't mean that the show started and they showed up. I mean that at like 8:30 they're walking in to set up their table, and the show kicks off at 9. So they're still putting cards out when people are coming through the doors, which to me as a vendor is super disrespectful to your clientele that's coming in per se. But at the same time, every show that I've been with them outside of Tidewater, they do the same thing. So it's standard practice for them, I guess, at this point. But I'm a very punctual person. Like if I need to be somewhere at a certain time, then I need to be at a certain time. So, but he addressed it, and they didn't come back. So, maybe they won't. I don't know. But yeah, so Tidewater takes bookings out 2 weeks in advance. Some events like this TCG Clash, and other things like they take it out months in advance. So like we've paid for a majority of our shows ahead of time. So shows that we've paid for is the Clash, Royal Rangers, the Herndon. We already paid for that. Mid Atlantic's paid for. I haven't paid for this one. The Hagerstown has been paid for. So the Hagerstown Card Expo is actually a massive one that they're setting up. We got into that. So this isn't the Hagerstown Mall. It's a different show, but we'll be doing that. And that one's already paid for as well. Westminster's pay on the spot, but again, this is more like a loyalty thing. It's gonna be massive. I'm really excited for this. We reached out like late, and I was like, "Hey, do you have any tables available?" They're like, "Yep." I was like, "Cool, I'll take one." So trying to like scale, especially with new areas that I don't know people. I'm not trying to bring a massive setup versus making the most of like what I have. So set up 2 displays, put graded raw, and just let people pick through what we have. So it's kind of like our goal moving forward. At the for the Hagerstown, yeah, Baltimore in that one. Who? I did. Oh yeah, we're doing the Gettysburg. That's my dates up. Got me out here questioning my whole life right now. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. What is going on the 14th? The card show, the Baltimore card show. You are correct. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would have not caught that, honestly. I did mess that up. Thank you so much. Right, we're gonna do this. I would have not caught that. No, of course. By happen chance, are you one of the people that collect Gengars? I see your Hunter, so I don't know if that's like your name. Your name is Hunter, or you're a big fan of Gengar. And next time you see us at a show, you have to be like, "Hey, this is me," so we at least know we put a name to face. Because we see so many people, like until we get used to like seeing people, then there we go. And then there's another list that we use, but it's from the Reader's Digest group, and it's just like a more loose list, I guess you can say. This one does have like shows that aren't listed on Treasure, especially some of the smaller ones that they'll list. But I see like the Mid Atlantic is up here again, and then the Mid Atlantic goes to a 2-day show in January, which I'm super stoked for because you have Saturday and Sunday. Super difficult show to get in. So Mid Atlantic, if you're not familiar with that and you're not from the Metro DC area, Mid Atlantic actually opens up. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, I appreciate you stopping by the stream, man. That means a lot. Thank you so much. But the Mid-Atlantic one, being 2 days is gonna be sick. But they open up at 9, so there's an early like bird special. They go in at 9, and then it goes till 3. And then we went to this, and it was massive. We went to this as a buyer, but not a seller. So, like I said, we're gonna stay consistent with the Westminster just because we built a community out there, and we like the people, and that was like our first show. But as shows continue to pop up, they are going to sell out. So like this is that Hagerstown Field Expo. Let's read about it, I guess, because I completely forgot. There was a stadium there. That is massive. A live DJ. Okay. Full bar and menu available. Oh my. That's sick. Yeah. So I actually am looking forward to this. This will be a lot of fun. I wonder what load time is if it starts at 10 or if they're going to do an early release at 9. I would assume that they're doing an early release at 9. The Pasadena Silver Spring Civic Center in the Mid-Atlantic. I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, so this is the same show. So this is the same show going on at the same time. I think we originally had planned to do this show, and then we got invited to this, and we booked this instead. So I think that's why we did that. Is Pokemon Center going crazy again? Is Pokemon Center queue up right now? Okay, sorry. I thought Pokemon Center opened up a queue. I was like, well, we're gonna try to do a live hit then of on Pokemon Center while we're live streaming. But yeah, was not the case. So, what is this? 2 weeks to go card show. Yeah, so that's a smaller show. This is far from us. Didn't know that this was a thing, so it is what it is. The TCG class is gonna be massive. But that's pretty much that. Let me see if I can find the Reader's Digest list. Reader's Digest card shows. Sports Collector, sorry. So this is the third source, really. This is a much smaller show. This is catering actually to sports shows in particular. So if you're into sports, but you can essentially like highlight it by state. And so if I want to do Maryland, I can look at this. And so like on the 17th, you have the Tidewater show being listed here. Tables are $70, and that's usually for a 6-foot table. Same guy runs it. And then you have the Mid-Atlantic Short card show. And it's broken down by state, so you get, excuse me, we're in Mass, Minnesota, we'll go down to Virginia, to kind of see what they have. That's West Virginia. Nope, that's Washington. Alright, so yeah, like this is Virginia, for example. So there are shows that are listed here that aren't listed on the other two sites, so it's good. So I had originally discussed going to Richmond prior to being asked to come vend on the 26th. So we have a little shindig on Saturday actually for the stream, and there's a potential that we'll go walk Richmond after. I would. I'm so new to the hobby that I don't really know what big shows like that would be for me because I've never been to a big show. Like I went to Chantilly, but Chantilly's like sports and trading cards, so there's like a happy medium for both. And so I'm not really sure um, what I enjoy, what I don't enjoy. I don't think I'll be going to New Jersey either way because it's so far away. Um, Richmond, it would be just to walk. I mean, if I could, over the next year or so, continue to build the community and do the things that I want to accomplish, I don't see why, like, next year we can't vend at Richmond Collecticon, or, like, a closer Collecticon out here, or even go down to, like, North Carolina to my in laws and do that. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential there. I think that vending a Collecticon would be interesting. I know it's expensive because I think like Richmond Collecticon tables were like $3,000 or something like that for a booth. I could be completely off point on that price, but like speaking with people, I know that it was a lot. But but yeah, this is the third website that like I said, there are shows on here that aren't populating on the other two websites. So if you're interested in looking for shows, you have the Virginia Beach Sports Cards, Winchester, Virginia Glen Allen, Arlington Nova Sports Card Show. This is run by a different company, the group that's putting on the Baltimore. So super nice people there, and but they traditionally list things on Treasure as well. So same group that this is at. I mean, they have tables available, like I said. But you get a 6 foot table, 3 feet of space. Each table will come with 2 chairs and 2 vendor badges. If additional vendor badges are required, you can purchase $25 a day. So, like I said, I got two. I have 12 feet of space for this. Whether or not we're going to have our complete computer setup is going to be a different story. Because I don't know where we're going to be at. They're not going to push out table locations, but this should be massive. They have the Nova show here, but where it says tables unavailable. But we've talked to them, and if somebody fails in the future, the way that they run these things, right, is you can only once a show is complete, they'll reach out to prior vendors if they want their space back. Then if there's any space available, they'll open it up to new vendors, and if there's not, then the show just stays booked that way. But I've spoken in depth with them. There is another Novus card show that is going on, but I didn't know that they were doing one. So there's going to be 3. Oh, this will be in Virginia, though, so this won't be... Jeez. Oh, yeah, this is last year. Sorry. $210. That's insane. Insanity. Good Lord. That's a lot of money for a table. CSA, we did get an email back from CSA, but we had already booked shows. And so we had planned to reach out. CSA is doing another show in October, I believe the 26th. If you're not familiar with what the CSA show is, the CSA show is a show local to Virginia. And so they have the prices. I mean, for us, again, it's expensive. But if you're a experienced vendor and have been for a while, it may not be. But show hours are 1 to 8 on Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday, 10 to 4 on Sunday. And then they have the upcoming show in October. So yeah. So this is the standard pricing for a booth at the CSA show. So you have $500 for 3 days, which broken down is like I think $175 a day, right? A math. $650 is interior corner booth, with 1 8-foot table or 2 8-foot tables, 2 chairs, 2 dealer badges. And then as you see, like, there are cheaper availabilities. where you can get a single 8-foot table, a chair, and a dealer badge at $350. So ultimately, if you're newer to the vending community and you don't have a group of people to do this, now at the same time, if you have a group of people to split, and you can be like, okay, like I want to spend, you can essentially split $1,400 between 4 people, right? So you have 2 8-foot, 2 6-foot. Each person, or 2 people get 8-foot, 2 people get 6-foot. You can split it that way and make it more affordable for the 3 days, and kind of like consign out your space essentially, which I know like prior vendors do that. But it really depends on your commitment. And traditionally, the sorry, I helped link up a gentleman purchasing a very expensive card today, at a very good price point. He was asking me about shipping. But yeah, so like they charge you for electricity, they charge you for hardline internet, you can charge for a safe, additional badges, right? So there's a lot of um, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that comes along with CSA. Again, it's a bigger show. Most vendors that I've spoke with actually prefer smaller shows that aren't TCG focused. So this is a sports and TCG show. This is actually focused primarily on sports, and so vendors that'll do TCG here usually split the cost of tables just so they can make it affordable. So I was going to reach out, and I was thinking like potentially doing one of these, just the cheaper options, or seeing if they had anything for an 8-foot and a 6-foot table and setting up a booth like that. It'll be interior. I won't have electricity. My favorite show that I've vended at so far. That's a good question. I want to say my favorite show that I've vended at so far, it was the Comfort Inn by Doughboys. Um, just because like the cool part was that we were so busy that we had a line of people waiting for our booth, and all we had was like this little corner. And again, like I'm 6'2", and I'm shoved in this corner, and I have my laptop like underneath me, and I'm essentially like stuck between my display, my table, and my laptop. And it was just, we were doing things at the site. Like that was, it was cool seeing that side of it and talking with new people and like branching out and like doing that stuff. So that was like, I would think my favorite one for business side of it. The coolest one so far was the Baltimore Trading Card Expo, because it was the first time like we got a dealer bracelet. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly who you are. I know exactly. I know exactly who you are. I see you at every show that I know exactly who you are. Yes, the moment you said that, I remember I talked with your sister walking in there, and I was like, "You're here again." And then I talked to your sister because you were at the Fairfax Elks Lodge. I know exactly who both of you are. That is awesome. I was like, wait, who? The moment you said that, it clicked in my head, because we did Westminster together. You guys were at Westminster, and you had the booth. I was in the center. You guys were off to the left, and then at Fairfax, you guys were more towards the front, and then I was shoved all the way in the corner. I remember that. I remember. See, I'm not. I don't have amnesia. I'm not losing my mind. Um, but yeah. Anyways, remember exactly who you are. That's awesome. That's so awesome having you here. That's awesome. Maybe we can event it together at one of these big events, like split a table. That'd be pretty cool. Locations are custom to the vendor. Chairs supplied as requested. Three more dealer badges are required. Yeah, it sounds expensive. I wonder what they charge for that. This has to be. Each living dealer must turn in completed dealer contracts and non-contract rules change around. Right, yeah. Okay. So yeah, like I said, we did fill this out. They reached out to us super late, and like, and when I mean super late, I mean it was 4 days before Chantilly, and I got an email. They're like, we have table availability," and I was like, I've already agreed to two other shows. Like, I'm not gonna cancel on them just to potentially go do a bigger show. Um, but yeah, okay, so it's on it's right here, October 17th through 19th, Duelist Expo Center. Yeah, okay. So I'm probably gonna give this dude a call because if I can plan this, if I can get like, hey, like confirmation that I'll be at the show now, I can put it on the schedule, and then I know not to book anything. But if I don't put anything on the schedule, like I'm gonna look for other shows, and then hopefully I don't pay something and double book. But yeah, as you see, we have double show 16th, double show the 23rd, double show the 30th. So we're gonna be doing like some pretty jam packed weekends. But that's gonna look like those that will actually take our weekends will be Thursday, Friday, and then we'll work Saturday, and our normal job will be Monday through Wednesday. So we're gonna be a little bit shift in the week, what we're gonna be doing at. But what was your favorite show at event, Haunter? Since you asked me mine, what was yours? Our nice little corner spot. I actually ended up forgetting this at the last show we did, and it's gone forever. My little sign. But this was the Comfort Inn show. Yeah, I was yeeted into a corner. This um we have gotten a couple of new displays actually. We came to a decision, and we got a couple of new displays as well. Yeah, Westminster. We've started there. Myself and another vendor that I worked with. His name is Yash. We started there, and we go more for the people than for profit because like we'll bring us there. Another one of the vendor friends that we have will vend with us there. Another guy is talking about coming to like vend with us, so they like we'll bring 3 or 4 people, get 6, 7 tables, and just sit there. And because we have a lot of people that we've met there, we just end up talking to a lot of recurrent customers, especially like young collectors and kids. Um, so I agree, it's not the most attractive in regards to traction, but a lot of nice people that we've met there. Because Yash and I were one of 3 TCG vendors when Westminster first started at the beginning of the year. So that's how we got into that. And then when we did Lupton's, the first day I brought 5 people, and I have a picture of Mike. Like Mike's table was insane. This was Mike's table. Like this is a eighth of his sealed product. So like he did really well this whole display. So that's Yash, that's Mike, that's Mel, that's Brian. Um, this is Ezekiel, and so this was when we did Lupton's and how we had our whole setup going. But yeah, he ended up bringing the heat for this show, and he's still got like I think 8 tubs full of sealed stuff that he's keeping for his kids' college. um, but yeah, I think we have a picture of the first. Yeah, this was our setup. Hey, look, we can see the card that got stolen. I think. Nope, I think this was day 2 when it already went missing. But yeah, we had a card stolen from this display right here. This is when we used to do sports. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there lived. And this was a sports spectacular. This was when I created the channel. Oh, that makes sense. But yeah, so this is all the shows moving forward that we're doing. But for the most part, that's really like what we wanted to cover for today's stream. Nothing crazy, very simple. Great talking with everybody, and I hope this like kind of like delves into our goal. Like I said, getting in with one of the larger promotion companies in the area and moving forward, especially as our YouTube channel continues to grow and we continue to brand our content, I think is going to be what we can do to continue to set our channel apart from everybody else, especially with what we do. And I appreciate that, Hunter. Like I said, tomorrow we have our value video coming out. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. Just kidding. I know what we're going to talk about. We're going to have the value video coming out tomorrow. And then we'll have something opening up on Friday for you guys. And then we have a surprise on Saturday. But with that being said, everybody, I hope everyone here has a fantastic, trash-tastic evening. Welcome to the Trash Family, Hunter. If you haven't hit up our Discord yet, the link's in the YouTube description as well. And be easy. Don't be too sleazy. We will be live on Saturday, but that's going to be a surprise. What can we do next? All right, everybody. Much loves, and we'll see y'all next time. Deuces!